handle it.
Yeah,
Till they come on.
you know it. We always gonna handle it. We live, y'all. Y'all welcome to another edition of the Elite Mancast, man. Every Wednesday at 8:30, y'all tune in to YouTube or the Keep Liddell page. And y'all already know, man. We got a great show tonight because we talking about the integrity of men. Now, integrity can go both ways, so some of y'all ladies might need to be taking notes too now. But we're gonna talk to some fellas tonight.
How
Yes,
do
sir.
It's on my Facebook page right quick. How do I do that?
You put it in the comments, type in comments at everyone, or type your name in the comment.
Okay, in my comments, let me see.
Yeah, you just type your name, at you, at yourself, and then that way it'll go to your page.
What it's saying is join the chat. So I click that and then.
Hello.
Yeah. I just messed something up, man. Let me. I just messed something up. So
good evening. How y'all doing?
All right, brother. How's it going, Louis?
Going well. Nice to see y'all again.
Can you see me?
Yes, sir. Yeah, man. We gonna Tony getting his stuff together, but we gonna definitely have a good conversation. You got it?
Let me start over then because this ain't working here.
Just go out and come back to you.
When I first came in, Mr. Fleming.
I know I shouldn't have touched that.
Oh man. But yeah, man, we gonna be talking about the integrity of men tonight. We just Mr. Tony having a little technical difficulties because he's a dinosaur trying to figure out this new age stuff, man. We're gonna get him right in a minute here.
So, all right, so am I in here twice?
Nah,
no, you good.
We got you. Yeah, you good.
Somebody need to share on my Facebook page because I don't know how to do it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You go in the comments and just type in at everyone.
When I went in the comments and I hit chat to type, it ran me to, one of them log in on your Apple site or something. It didn't let me just. All right, hold on. Let me see. Let me try this chat here. Chat with everyone. Yeah. Okay, so do what now? Put my name.
Yeah. Tag at Tony.
Okay. At.
Yeah.
Put that in the chat.
Yeah, you can put that in the chat at your name, and then it'll go to your page.
All right, let's see.
There you go. And that should get you right there.
Okay, now it's telling me joining the show. Am I?
No, you should be all right, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Nah, You still live. Ain't no backstage.
Well, I got a little square window in the back there, like it says. Everyone, I don't know. Go ahead, man. I don't interrupt your show. Go ahead.
Yeah, you fine. Yeah, you fine, brother. Don't worry about it. Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it.
So don't overcook the grits.
But no, that's what we doing tonight, y'all. We got this man of integrity over here trying to figure out Facebook and YouTube, man. So Tony, go ahead, man. I'm gonna let you run it. You want to talk? You go ahead and run it. Give us a little bit about your story and the struggles, the things that you came from, just to the place you're at now. Just a brief moment, and then we're gonna get back into it.
All right, quickly. Actually, came out of school in 85. Worked in corporate America for about 7 years. Worked for a newspaper. Did ad sales. Also worked for AT&T while I was selling the phone systems. And then in 97, 98, I kind of stepped out and started doing different home-based businesses. Really, the reason I started, to be honest, was for tax breaks. I had a lady, I kind of was ear hustling in the mall, and she was like, if you got a job, you really need a home-based business too, because now you can use it for tax breaks. Literally,
Wow.
you could, start writing things off that you do on a daily basis, because you're going to do those things anyway. And why not have a business? So I kind of started just for that, to get some tax breaks. And then I saw what people were making money, and just kind of researched it and saw the legitimacy part of it, and got started and walked away from AT&T. I'm the kind of person, I didn't hate what I was doing. Like AT&T was great for me because I was in sales and I didn't have somebody standing over me. I was just out and about all day long. But then when I got, found out about this type business, I kind of just, fell into it. And so for the last 20 some years, that's what I've been doing, training and teaching people, about starting a home-based business. And also, but my thing has been mindset and personal development. I think that's what kept me in the game the whole time, was that when I started reading books and learning about, mindset and personal development. And I don't think I would have ever run across this kind of teaching that really changed my life if I didn't kind of step out like that, because I don't know any other industry like that, like the home-based business industry, that really hones in on teaching mindset and personal development and all that. I don't know, maybe a little bit in real estate, maybe, but you rarely ever hear that. And so I thank God that I kind of stumbled across that, and that's what kept me going for the last 20 some years. So that's a little bit about me.
Yeah. And I'm glad you said that, because that's what done kept me going with this, because of the self-development, man. That self-development, just having that type of mindset to want to know more about you. And a lot of people want to know more about everybody else's business, but they don't want to know more about themselves, because they don't want to see that truth. They don't want to face the truth of themselves. They'll rather say, "Oh, that's who I am." And it's like, no, dig deeper into yourself to find out who you really are, so you can become a better self. Yeah, Mr. Lewis, let me hear a little bit, man. I remember a little bit about your story, but great story it was. So that's why I got you back on here.
Appreciate y'all. Yeah. Thanks for the invite. Good evening. So I'm Lewis Fields. I am a seeker of how things work. I guess that would be like the main, my pursuit of life is how does the thing work? I'm concerned about how everything works, what's the origin of it, defining and describing, and then putting the relationships of things together in the world. So when I was a teenager, I was delinquent. So far as I was like the guy that cut school, that smoked pot, and was shiftless and aimless. So unfortunately, that ended up me falling into crime, going from delinquency, going into criminal lifestyle, criminal mindset. Unfortunately, I ended up in prison, 1998, did 23 years straight, got released in 2021. While incarcerated, figured out that I was functionally illiterate, started to develop my literacy, the ability to, grasp concepts through the written word. And that opened up doors in my mind. That opened up the possibility of the world getting bigger, that I could no longer accept the world that I was living in. So from there, also faith, having the faith of God. There are a lot of things in life you will not be able to understand, you will not be able to explain, and everybody has faith. Everybody has faith. There's nobody without faith. It just depends on what you put that faith on. Who you gonna blame?
Is he breaking up? Can
y'all hear me?
Yeah, I hear you good.
Okay. So with that faith, we always attribute the cause to something. It might be our mama, our daddy, the school system, the judge, or my wife, my kids. It's gonna be somebody's fault. And I truly believe when it's not God, that's when depression, anxiety set in, because that's not realistic. I can't blame another human being that's going through the same experience as I am on all my problems and on all the decisions and the hopes and the dreams that I have and the aspirations. And I really began to want to improve myself, because like if God is your father, then that means you want to emulate your dad. And so if God is perfection, then therefore now you got this pursuit to always improve. And everything you look at it in a creative way. Versus if all my problems are some human problem or some scientific problem, then therefore that's imperfect. So my pursuit can never be perfection. So that's a little bit about my story. That's like my mindset. That's where I come from. Those are things I think about since I've been released in 2021. I've continued to do the programs and facilitate the programs that I started while I was in prison, Builders, which is a restorative justice program built around community and relationships, and also Books for Bruises, which is a literacy program on how to shortcut and pull the knowledge out of books so I having to read the whole book. I am also the outreach manager for the Marshall Project Cleveland office. That's a digital newsroom that deals with criminal justice issues, holding public officials accountable, things of that nature. We have a print publication, a television show that goes into the prisons in the state of Ohio. That's like basically the majority of my job is engaging with the community and making sure that our magazines and our materials get into men and women incarcerated that don't usually get a chance to get up-to-date information. So
yeah,
I'm figuring out a little bit every day. I'm glad to be here. I appreciate it. Hope I can add some value.
oh yeah, man, that's amazing because see, a lot of us is like we all know. A lot of us get out of prison and we try to find out what the boy is doing, and then a lot of us get out and just try to go get a job. But when you get out and you want to make a difference for the same way you went in, that's a big thing, man. That's part of the integrity that I'm talking about. What people need to realize, man, that's integrity for real because you're going to become a stand-up person in the community, in the same community that failed you, So yeah, we appreciate that. Mr. Michael, what you got going on?
Well, what's up, fellas? Welcome, everybody. Hey, well, I guess we can get into the subject because our topic tonight is the integrity of a man. And just
Right.
listening to both of your stories, you just basically hit on a lot of the points or principles of integrity. I mean, the unwavering commitment to honesty, to principles and moral character. That's what this is all about. Now, if we had some of that in our country, let's imagine how well this country would be doing. But
Mhm.
since we're talking about men, you see, the integrity is reflected in the words you say, your actions, and the decisions that you make. And that's basically what we're about. Staying true to your values, regardless of the circumstances or the temptations. So I think this is going to be a great topic because if you got integrity, you pretty much got everything you need to be successful in this life. And a lot of people think of it as just telling the truth, but it's a lot more than that. It's way deeper. So, what you
Yeah,
got
because
in it?
if you just tell the truth, but I feel like the truth is going to be the deepest part of it. Plus, with the actions that you carry out, a lot of it's like Mr. Fields down here. He tells these people when he goes into these prisons, he give them the scenarios of the life that he came from into the life he's living right now, so you can see those steps, so you can feel those steps, not even just see them, so you can really visualize them and have that emotional empathy connected to it. So when you sitting around here, you got guys, steady listening to social media pages and trying to emulate things on a screen that they never will see or never will be because they don't know the steps. That's just like a woman want the finished product. She don't want the man who's going through those stages, who's trying to walk those steps. She want that finished product. But if she really understood integrity, if she really understood balance, she could be the balance to that man so he can finalize those steps with her. Because see, a lot
Right,
of men, they don't want to be the ones. Well, it's a lot of men nowadays. They're wanting to be the ones who are the finished product, but they don't want to. They don't want a woman. I mean, or they don't even appreciate the woman, but they want to be with a woman who looks like, oh, she's a Barbie doll. But the integrity of a man is like, hey man, no, we're gonna walk these steps together. Or you're not gonna walk with me.
right.
because you're not gonna get the finished product if you're not even willing to give me that integrity up out of you. You know, but nowadays, that's what happens when we don't go through those from AT&T to ear hustling to home-based businesses to, you know, we don't take those steps no more. Everybody's, oh, I'm going from 0 to 100 real quick,
Mm-hmm.
and thinking that you're gonna be living a fulfilled, happy life, and that's incorrect, man. But I
Mm-hmm.
just, you know, that's my take on it, being, you know, being trustworthy to people that you really want to be a part, that you really want a part of your life, and taking them opportunities like, you know, both of these gentlemen did. They took the opportunity when they seen it and they went for it, and you know, it was like, okay, we good. We finna make something happen out of this. Until you get to a point to where, okay, I got a little balance now. I can leverage this to do this. You know what I'm saying? Like Tony did. He say, man, okay, that's what y'all doing? Oh, I
Yeah.
get a tax break?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
You know?
You
That's
know,
what I just like.
I want to talk about something right quick where now is this my Wi-Fi? Because it looked like y'all going in and out. So that must be my Wi-Fi, because y'all not experiencing that.
Nah.
I am. I
Okay.
keep seeing all of you blink off and on.
What was that?
I'm seeing all of you blinking off and on every once in a
Okay.
while.
I was wondering whether that was just mine, because like Lewis going in and out. Even when he was talking, he was kind of, I couldn't
Yep.
grasp everything. But I want to talk about something right quick there, and I want Lou to jump in on this, because he made a comment on this topic, and we were on a book club, and he made a comment on this topic, which was interesting. And it kind of goes on in line with integrity, because I was talking about a story about this guy who had been incarcerated for a while. And when he got out, his partner is the rapper Pusha T. You know Pusha T, right? And so the guy came out with an idea that he wanted to get into the business of moving people around. People who might need, be moved in the wheelchair. What do you call that type business?
Transportation.
Transportation type business like that, where you can help people who need that. And so the guy told Pusha T about it, and Pusha went out and got a couple of his vans to get him started and get him into the business and get him going. So Lou kind of mentioned that because of that guy's situation, and he's saying, the situation where he had spent some time, that he probably wouldn't have done that with Pusha T, because of the topics that Pusha T talk about and the things that he had done in his past that could come back and bite you. So Lou, you want to kind of go in on that a little bit?
Well, I think it began with the idea, all money ain't good money. Mm-hmm. So everybody got a reputation. Everybody is a brand. You a walking brand, walking logo. When you come into the room, people that are familiar with you have an idea of what you represent, your integrity. So like the word integrity, the origin of the word is like a math word. It's the integer, it's an integer. And it's like wholeness is a whole number. It was like a math word. It evolved to define morality, that we lean towards positivity with integrity. But that's not really the origin of the word. So we have a lot of people that do have integrity. For instance, let's take a fictional character. In the movie New Jack City, Wesley Snipes' character had integrity. He was wholly committed to selling drugs. That's who he was. That was his brand. Ice-T was committed to stopping it. So both those men showed integrity by the original definition of the word. When you look at it, integrity is about wholeness. It's about being solid. This is who you are. You are solidly this thing. The thing with Pusha T is he has branded himself as a guy who promotes drugs. Now, I'm the last person. I don't do the rap music is killing the neighborhood and all that, because there's so many more things bigger than that. That's not what this is about. So I don't want it to be generalized. Right. This is specifically about this individual and another individual fresh getting out of prison with a criminal record, dealing with another dude that promotes himself as a guy that does crime regularly, that practices crime. This is who he is. Yeah. You have no idea where that money comes from. See, your ignorance can land you in a lot of trouble because you want to cut corners. He has no idea what Pusha T really out there doing. I don't know what he's doing, so I ain't speaking to nothing. But I'm saying you don't have a clue. You know how many dudes in the Fed joint, and they really was the patsy. They really didn't know. You know, they hit them with the RICO Act. You was moving $200,000 a day, and they were like, I ain't seen none of this, man. I was still working at UPS. I don't know nothing. I was just dropping packages off. And they really was. Bruh, I'm not that green. I'll put it like that. I'm not that naive, and I'm not that green, nor that needy. All money ain't good money because you don't know where it came from. He has no idea. But the thing he does know is that guy promotes himself as somebody who does wrong. So think about the parable of the scorpion and the frog. Can you give me a ride across? So Scorpion said, "You gonna bite me?" So he said, "No, I ain't gonna do that." Yeah. And the guy that gave said, "You knew what I was." Yeah. So when they go down there, you know who I am, man. What you thought it was? Where you think I got this money from? I ain't selling that many records, selling my money making rap. I ain't making you know how I get it? You know, it would be different now if Mr. Fleming say, "I'm gonna give you stress." Mr. Fleming got a brand. Right. Now I would be shocked. I would be shocked and appalled that we had a RICO Act like, damn, I thought you was really selling the product. I didn't know you was selling the product. It's just so my whole point is just that I'm sorry, it's long-winded. You know, I'm always long-winded with my answer. It's just like you know who dude is. Yeah. And that's part of integrity. That's why I'm getting to like I'm gonna stop talking, but that's another part I want to dig deeper into how integrity works. Like the mechanisms of integrity. Right? Okay. Like your decisions, like, dude, you partner with somebody that say they sell dope. Like Big Meech just got out. I wouldn't take no money from Big Meech. Right. So I don't know what you into, man. Right. You know, as early as last year, you still promoting the lifestyle through the movie. You okayed that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You okay to be done. Yeah. You ain't okay in children's books and I cleaned up and I came to Jesus or something. Took you saying you still promote. You know, BMF. Still promoting. Yeah. God bless you. I ain't down them. I don't think that's the downfall of America. That's a whole other conversation. I'm just saying, if you take the money, if you green, you in. There's so many old sayings. You green, you in. All right. Yeah. You know, so that's why I said that. Yeah, and you know, some people don't think it all the way out. Like, you know, that, you know, maybe that guy had a conversation, and I mean, if somebody had a conversation with him to make him think, and if he still did it, but you made a good point. I didn't think about it because that's all Pusha T talked about or talks about in his songs, that he was this kingpin, you know, dope dealer. So that could easily backfire on you, even though this guy, he had the money to buy these couple of vans to get his business going. But at any point, that could come back on you. So that whole point of, I'm looking at that as, you know, like you said, you know, that could easily come back on you. So. Yeah. And that's like this new guy named D1.
But isn't it part of...
You say what?
Go ahead. I
said the guy named D1 Music, the guy who do music from Baton Rouge. Yeah, he's a gospel. Well, he promotes God and his music. Yeah. And that's where he's challenging all of these new guys. I mean, all of these guys who talk about drugs and their music. He's challenging them. Hey, man, you can find something else to talk about. Yeah. You say you this, and you say you a stand-up guy. You say you're a man of integrity. Find you another avenue, or reverse the words, or not reverse them, but make your words make sense. On for it's like Ice Cube back in the day. Ice Cube would tell you the story, but he also tell you the outcome. Scarface, they'll tell you what we're doing, but they also gonna tell you, hey, I die at the end of this. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like, you know, they try to make this music thing sound like, you know, it's so cool right now, but they're not giving you the end result. I'm talking about all the money you made when you're not talking about the whole system of the system, you know. So with that, you know, that's why, you know, the guy probably shouldn't have took that money, but or he should have He should have went through a system of a loan.
But in
Went through
integrity is about you. It's about the individual. So if I stand on doing what's right and I take a loan from somebody that's doing something wrong, does that make it wrong? Because the money doesn't know where it comes from. What I do with the money has to be in line with my integrity, not with his. Because he's going to do what he's going to do. And I'm not in business with him, but I don't know how the outcome was with those two. But I mean, for me, if he's
I think
helping me to get started in a business, how he got the money really doesn't matter. But he's helping me to get started over here. That should be two completely separate things. But that's in my
well, I
opinion.
think I think the legality of it comes to play. If you know, if you already got a checkered past, I think that's more what we're talking about. That you taking a chance on something that could backfire on you because you already got a checkered past. So you shouldn't, because any little thing they look at now,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? So that can't. I think if it wasn't that situation, you know, and I don't know if he went in business with him or not. It could have been just he gave him the
The
money.
loan.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, to start it up. But still, if you got to check a pass, any little thing like that,
Yeah, because
you
they
know,
always going to keep
Yeah,
an
see,
eye on
that's
you no matter what you do.
So I understand what you're saying, and you're absolutely right. It's like a spectrum, and everybody got their own personal. What can you sleep with at night, right? Because like I say, all
right.
money. I don't want to go too deep. So anybody that believes that everybody that's doing everything is doing it above board, no matter what it is. It don't matter if it's a rapper, a politician, a so-called
Right.
businessman. You don't know what they're doing. Like I say, you don't know what is going on. My thing is, you got a spectrum of what you can sleep with at night. And the thing I can't sleep with is if it does go bad. Because I can talk to you like, hey, it's above board, right? This all, yeah, man, this money from the royalties. You know, this, I got some car washes. I got all types of stuff going on. Like, this money clean, man. Ain't nothing wrong with this money. I'm paying taxes, everything. Ooh, you tell me that. But I know who you are. You get what I'm saying? So it's just the more likely than not. I just live my life by a code of nothing's gonna come off like you think it is. You always gonna have adversity. You always gonna have some turbulence. But when I put myself in the trick bag, to quote Elnora, my grandmother, when I put myself in the trick bag, because see, if I'm sitting in that cell and they got that thick indictment and they talking 60, 70 years, RICO Act, right? Mastermind, all this. I'm like, dang, I know, dude. I know that's who he is, man. So I can't be mad at nobody but myself, right?
mm-hmm.
Now, if I go get that money from Myron Golden and it go bad, dude, you misrepresented yourself. Shame on you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying? They preaching two different
Yeah.
gospels. Shame
Yeah.
you. That's all I'm saying. I understand what you said, but it's like now I feel I'm outraged. You know, I was wrong. I'm a
Right.
victim now. But if I get it from Pusha T, it's like, yeah, man, you know what it is.
Yeah.
You told me who you were. You ain't hiding. It ain't like you hiding this thing from me. This who you are, bro. That's my whole point. It's just I don't want to put myself in a trick bag.
This conversation make me think about now. This is so think about this. What about all the pastors at the churches and they know some of that money's coming from dope boys? What do you because they, you know, you give it what do? You know,
Give it back. Nope.
You
I mean,
that
ain't happening.
You're gonna bring that money to it up.
I'm just saying.
Won't you do it? Yep.
I mean, hey, what they
say
do
the
with
same thing, huh?
Yeah, I mean, what you know for a fact that dude's sitting out there, you know what he's doing, but he's dropping off that money every week and giving it to you.
I'm gonna be politically correct, and I'm not gonna speak on the churches directly.
Okay.
You try to get me going. You think you try to get me going. So I'm gonna plead the fifth on the churches to let y'all.
Yeah.
Well, all right, Mike. What you gonna say?
What am I going to say?
Yeah.
I tell you what. Let's
Mike
put it
gonna
like
take
this.
the money.
What about you know how everybody plays spades, right?
Yeah.
Now say I don't believe in cheating. I don't. I think if I'm going to win, I'm going to win, but I'm going to play fair. But now I got a partner that's reneging, that's cheating, trying to talk across the table and everything, but we winning.
Right.
After a while, I get tired of I get up and quit. Somebody else sit down here, you play. Because I don't like the cheating. But everybody else, a lot of people be like, but we winning. So when you got the money in it, it's pretty much going to be the same thing. So if you're going to take it or you're going to just walk away from it and say no. But that's all depends on your moral character, what
Mhm.
you believe. And that's got to be, I mean, it's an unwavering commitment to honesty. So if you feel that strongly about it, you're not going to take the money.
You remember
So,
that? You remember that scene in American Gangster where Russell Crowe, they got that hundred, they ran across that $1 million in the trunk, and the cop
Yeah,
said, he said, man, we
mhm,
gotta keep this. We gotta, you can't turn this in.
yeah,
You turn this in, they gonna want to kill us because they be like, you will tell on
right,
anybody. You know what I'm
right.
saying?
right.
So you see that, I'm sure that goes on a lot in America with cops who run across money, and most of them, they not turning that money in, but then they'll say, well, I'm out here, cleaning up the streets and helping people. Now, is that, you know, are you being in tech, like, well, what I do
That is,
save people lives and I'm cleaning up the streets. And, so
yeah.
I should take a little bit of that.
Right. But that's you. See, that's you stepping away from your moral character. You
Hmm.
already know it's wrong, or you wouldn't have to think about it. Just like
Hmm.
all the other guys are like, oh, well, ain't nobody going to know. But he said, I'll know. And he turned the money in.
Yeah.
That's integrity because he stood on his principles no matter what anybody else said. And he knew that now everybody going to look at him
Look at
sideways because
right,
you might turn us in if you still doing something
right.
wrong. So he just ostracized himself by doing the right thing. That's
Mm.
where integrity plays its biggest role because the hardest part about having integrity is doing it when everybody else is against you, but you still stand on your principles and you do what's right.
Wow.
Hmm. Hmm.
The
Yeah,
flip side.
taking
Okay,
responsibility for your own actions, man, and regardless of who's standing around you, you know.
Yes.
Lewis, I want to hear Lewis about this the mechanics of integrity, what you was about to say a minute ago.
yeah. So like we was talking about that spectrum, it's the individual spectrum on what integrity is, what you can sleep with. Because you got to think the code of the criminal is it's my job to do what I got to do, and it's somebody's job to catch me. Like you
Mm.
talking about the
Right.
spades.
Mhm.
If you keep letting me deal this ace from the bottom, and you don't say that you can't catch it, you pay for your
What
lesson.
you getting?
That's the code of the criminal. You pay for your
Yeah.
lesson. Like poker, how you learn how to play poker? You lose
Yeah.
money. Same thing in the stocks. You lose money. So that's that's the code of the criminal. That's the criminal code. You mentioned principles earlier, and like you said, the moral code, and everybody don't have
Right.
the same code. And I believe
Right.
I'm a firm believer in tribalism that like-minded people should be together. Like-minded people, you should
Right.
stay committed to forming bonds, relationships, treaties, covenants with like-minded people. I believe that's what
Mm.
like protects your life, right?
Yeah.
So the mechanisms of integrity are based on decision. So decision is when you decide to cut away other options. So for instance, let's say
Mm.
I have a negative relationship with alcohol, right? So I say, man, I'm about to run to the store and get some tortilla chips and salsa, right? But I know in my heart I'm getting weak for liquor, and I really want to go and give myself an excuse to buy this liquor. So once I make that decision to go to that grocery store, now liquor is a choice. But if
Right.
I decide, you know what, I ain't going out because I know I'm bull crapping. I'm not gonna drink. I done committed myself. I'm not gonna do that. I done told myself I'm not gonna do that. So I'm not even gonna put myself in that position to do that. Now the choice ain't on the table, and it makes integrity easier. Whatever you done decided to
Mm.
do, your decision is different than a choice. Your decision is all the stuff you decide you won't do. It's the line you draw in the sand. And the hard part about integrity and about making those decisions of integrity with that moral principle, principles will always cost you something. See, being
Yeah.
moral, having integrity, living by principles that are morally beneficial to the community, beneficial to others, empathetic. Somebody mentioned empathy earlier. Empathy. That will always cost you something. That's not free. You ain't gonna get famous for that. You're not gonna get money for that.
Right.
You suffer loss because, like they said, you would be a fool. That was $1 million. Everybody could have took 100,000. Everybody could have took 200,000. You're gonna suffer loss. You're gonna suffer loss, and people gonna talk about you. So I believe that's the reason why integrity is so valued. The way we understand it now is because you lose being a man of integrity. You don't gain,
Yeah.
right? You don't gain because if you don't have any integrity, everything is possible. You know, it should be certain things a man don't do. It should be certain things a human being say, I don't do that, man. I don't condone that. I don't get down like that. I ain't gonna smile when y'all smile. I'm gonna separate myself from that, and I'm gonna let y'all know I'm separating myself from that. It ain't gonna be a soft giggle, stay in the back, peer pressure, pressure punk type stuff. Man, I don't do that. I don't condone that. I don't like it, and I ain't messing with you no more because of that. That's integrity.
Yeah.
That's gonna cost you because, like I say, people ain't gonna like that.
You know, and that's one of the things I do like about the guy D1 that you mentioned. But one of the reasons D1 said he can stand his ground like that is because he has made enough money to where nobody's controlling him. So he can say what he want to say and do what he want to do. And so he can stand his ground. He's not worrying about sponsors cutting him off or somebody not paying him. So he sticks to what his thing is, whether you agree with his thought process or not, he's sticking with it. You know what I'm saying? So he's battling everybody when it comes to that thought process. And a lot of times, because money comes into play, and you could be in a situation where, man, you wind up, saying and doing, whatever's needed so that you can, live the life that you want to live. And a lot of times that's one of the things that people talk about with the multimillionaires, the black multimillionaires, especially the ones from entertainment. And, when they talk about Jay or Diddy and all these other guys, they'll say, well, these guys really are not, that's not really their money, their control, because they can't really get up in the neighborhoods and help the black community, because if they do, it's going to get cut. So is it really theirs? Are you really in a position where you can really make things happen if that's what you want to do? Go ahead.
I'm gonna get you one more. I'm gonna get you, Louis. I want to make one more point with that one. Is that about with Cat Williams? That's why he was able to say what he was saying, because he owns all of his tours. He don't ask nobody to fund his comedy specials or nothing like that. So he's another one who can talk that talk and back it up. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Louis.
Right. I mean, we because I was just about to bring Cat Williams up, but from another perspective.
Yeah.
So Cat Williams, everything is a play. You gotta have a hero and the villain. You gotta have the Lakers in Boston. You gotta have Pittsburgh, and you gotta have them to play. So a person who is very few entertainers who I respect when they talk about morals or principles, right? It's very few entertainers that when they come from the moral standpoint or social standpoint about a topic, I respect. Like, when they say, LeBron, just shut him play basketball. Like, I don't care what LeBron got to say about nothing. He's just an entertainer. And it's not down him. It's just, bro, that's your job. Yeah. That's your job. Y'all job is to make me laugh. Y'all comedians, man. That's your job. But the guy I respect is Dave Chappelle, because Dave Chappelle showed the cost, right, of integrity. When Cat Williams did that, everybody, Cat Williams blew up. They broke records on social media. The show was hot. All this, everybody was talking about it, and we love criticizing somebody else, seeing them fall down. Our hater came out. Everybody was just a hater. We thought Cat Williams was so great. Dave Chappelle said, "Man, this dude that sat up here, you destroyed these men's career. You didn't put your mouth on these men. These men got kids to feed." And the question is this, Dave Chappelle, why did he talk about Will Ferrell, Al Pacino? Huh?
The white comedian.
And they say Marlon Brando and Red Fox had sex before. Huh? Why ain't he talk about? Why he ain't talk about this? Is something that's been going on. This is the game of entertainment. This is the cost. This is the cost of fame. So the question is, what was your agenda? Who told you to go say that, bro? Because don't believe he controlled nothing. Because if they want to cancel you when you're an entertainer, you can be canceled. They don't have to let him in no venue nowhere. So he was allowed to say that. He had an agenda for saying that. And the question I ask ourselves with our integrity, why do we get such a joy to tear somebody down? Whether it's true or not, why is it my job to pull back the curtain and show your worst you? Do anybody want their worst day displayed on TV?
Excuse me.
Huh?
Not at all.
I look at it different because Dave Chappelle said, why you ain't mention nobody else? You didn't mention none of them.
Right.
Who told you to say that? Huh?
Now I never thought that way about it. So that is the point that you're making there. I never looked at it like that because we looked at Cat as being bold enough to say those things because nobody but God, I didn't hear Dave Chappelle say that. I didn't hear that part of it.
Check it out. Yeah, Dave Chappelle said, bro, you didn't tell these dudes' career up, man. They're all making a living, man. They're all making a living.
But I don't
he
think
claimed
that
he was responding now. He claimed he was responding back to them attacking him.
This is my thing though. Is that who I am? That's not entertaining.
Right.
See, all jokes ain't funny. All jokes ain't, a joke that I gotta tell you now, so like we can all talk, we can judge to a certain degree. But I'm not gonna bring up something that I know would be embarrassing or painful for any of you brothers so that I can get a laugh. I don't laugh like that.
He did expose Ludacris, and Luda had never said anything about him. So
my thing is, I'm not getting off on tearing somebody down that look like me, especially not tearing nobody down. It don't benefit me. I don't see how it make me better by me showing your worst day. Because my question is this: I guarantee you did something, said something when you was 15 that you don't want nobody to know about, you don't want nobody to bring up. You just said something, did something, you was 25, you don't want nobody over. So what if all our worst days was put out front? How we want somebody to treat us? Integrity, like talk about that moral standard.
Hey.
I want to be treated that way, so that's how I want to treat everybody else.
It's like that. With that 13-year-old boy who jumped on him. You seen that video? That little 13-year-old kid jumps on.
And beat him up.
Yeah,
it beat him up.
Oh man.
Yeah. So I mean, I think that's one of those things that go to the depths of integrity, and that spectrum is. So what's funny? Like, because you agree and you in. We say, well, we want to be positive, we want to do these things. So negativity ain't fun to me. I don't want to tear nobody down. I don't want to say the dozens.
And don't want to listen to it either.
Yeah.
I don't want to destroy your strength or try to disempower you in public so that I can feel better.
So then let's ask the question then. Is anybody out here that's not being controlled by the money? Like, is there any more Malcolm X? Is there any more?
No.
Well, I think we can compare apples to oranges. Remember, Malcolm X told us, entertainers can't be your leaders. Now, it does not mean that Harry Belafonte, Muhammad Ali, Eartha Kitt, all them, it don't mean y'all didn't contribute something. Dick Gregory, it didn't mean you didn't contribute something positive for the cause. But you can't be the spokesman for the cause and be an entertainer. And I think that's what we've been seduced into. We look for entertainers to save us. Entertainers are to entertain us. Now, it's cool if an entertainer got a conscience, but entertainer can't be my thought leader.
Right.
I can't get game from an entertainer, bro. You here to make me laugh. You here to distract me for real from serious things.
And that's it.
And I think we compare apples to oranges.
How did that come about though? How did that happen to where for us entertainers and athletes became leaders, and that's not typical in the white
because they got money and they do flashy stuff. And black people, we love flashy things. We like to be entertained by what we can't afford.
But no, but I disagree with that. So it's the reason why Kid Rock was up there too performing for Trump. It's the reason why Taylor Swift do the things she do. It's the reason why Jay-Z picked the people he picked. So, like, it's the reason why people do the Super Bowl when you get the country music stars. I believe entertainers have become thought leaders for everybody. Just, I think, due to the fact that we are melanated people, we focus on what look like us, right? We kind of, like I said, we around that all the time, so that's what we see. We don't ever really empathize and look at the other side. They entertainers leading them.
So who are you looking at in their community that's considered a thought leader that's entertaining?
All right, I'm gonna show you. So the question is this: Johnny Carson said, "You look at the dean of any college, and you look at his salary, and you look at mine, and then you tell me what the American people want." Johnny Carson, Jay Leno, the dude that get the dumb people and ask them who was the first president, and they say Kanye West and all that on late night TV, Law and Order, Ice-T. So entertainers have become our thought leaders. They make up how we see the world now, black and white, Latino, all across the board. I don't think that's not just something that's
but I'm gonna say this, Lewis. We are the trendsetters. We started to idolize our entertainers and look at them as somebody who can lead us. We started that.
I don't believe. Well, my thing is this. I'm gonna push back on that. If we look at life in game theory, if we look at real life, if we look at the American economy, what is the history of America's game? We've never written the code for the game. We've never been in power. So we can never actually lead anything. We could feel like we might lead something. But they had to give the okay for Run DMC to be on TV, right? Somebody had the okay for Tyler Perry to have a studio. You understand what I'm saying? So we can't have it both ways. We can't say we don't actually control any industry, right? We don't
Michael Jackson to be on MTV.
We serve entertainment, right? Somebody had to okay Michael Jackson videos to be on MTV. That the call had to be given, and we ain't never made that call. So I believe that we think we start trends, but trends are really started by the people who control the switch. Because you got to have permission to do things.
I think
it's not having permission. No. What I mean by this right here is not having permission. It's us being us. Right. It's just like rap music. Do you think they started rap music? Honestly, did they start rap music? Did they start breakdancing? Did they start breakdancing? Because they see us doing it on the corner, they said we can profit off of it, so we're gonna put it on TV. But we started.
Right.
So you can't tell me they start something and then say, oh, we're gonna control it. No, brother. We started, they steal it. Just like America. It's been going on over and over again. They've been stealing. We are the trendsetter. Like I said, we started on the corner. They come and grab it from the corner and say, hey, man, I'm gonna put Milli Vanilli on the stage and he gonna be the greatest rapper of all times. Come on, brother. You gotta see past that, because they don't do nothing on their own. They have never done nothing to start anything. They start the business, they start the corporation because they got the funds and the backing, but they look at us for the idea.
But
Malcolm X, the Black Panther Party, all of that started without media, without social media, without any TV cameras. They did that on their own because they wasn't being treated fairly. It got publicity for the simple fact that we're going against a system that was created to keep us down. That's why they put it. That's why that's in the mainstream media, because we saying, no, brother, y'all ain't finna do that. Huey P. Newton was the one who made everybody realize pig, said it in front of him right to his face, and then cocked the gun and told him we got the right to bear arms. You thought that was supposed to be on social media? You thought that was supposed to be on the news? They didn't want to show that.
My question is this. Who controlled the media? Who kept putting Martin Luther King and Malcolm X on TV? Who greenlighted that? Because if they didn't want them on TV, they wouldn't have been on TV.
But you know what the thing is?
Hey,
NBC,
let me tell you this right here.
CBS.
If you keep on going against somebody who's in power, I promise you, you'll be on TV.
Yeah.
It ain't even the fact that they want to put me on. I'm gonna get on because I keep going against them, man. I keep telling them, man, y'all wrong, man. Well, who is this guy who's saying we wrong? Who is this guy? Because it wasn't all black people that was against that that was walking in the marches. It was some white people in the marches.
Absolutely.
So you can't tell me that these people talking about, oh, we're gonna put them on because they gonna put them on because the surrounding people like
they'll find a way to profit from it.
Here's a bigger point though, and I know it might be off the topic of integrity, but what Lewis is saying is what I always said is that whoever controls the switches control the mind. Whoever can, the people who can. We don't have a media channel. We don't even with social media, we don't even control that. So whoever clicks that button and controls it controls our thinking, which means they can take us back and forth just like this.
Only if you got that kind of mindset. Only if you allow them to.
So,
because you have to be allowed to. That's why Malcolm X was so powerful. They were recording themselves.
So
that wasn't on the TV screen in 1964.
So
what do you mean allowed to?
When Malcolm X was in the ballroom, we had our own video recorders, bro. That wasn't something that was supposed to be on TV. That came out after the fact. That wasn't like, hey, Malcolm coming on at 5. Let's put him on channel 5. They didn't do that. You got that video footage after the fact.
Malcolm and Martin Luther King was on every significant talk show on ABC, NBC, and CBS.
Because he was trying to be a part of them. Let him come on in. Well, if he want to be white, let his white ass come on in.
Malcolm X and Martin Luther King was both because they was pitted against each other. You got to have a dark and a light.
That's right.
Pitted. So
listen to what you're saying.
So my whole thing is everything is marketing. Like breakdance. Breakdance is not new. The art form of hip hop as a culture. Hip hop is a culture, and breaking is a part of them elements.
Right.
It was organized. But you can find breakdancing going all the way back to Kemet. You find breakdancing on the plantation. You find the moonwalk before Michael Jackson did it. He just made it famous because he was on the rap or whatever. So these are not new things. My point is, I think you're saying what I'm saying, but we're not connecting the same.
Right.
I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying, but what I'm saying is you would never know nobody was breaking in New York unless they wanted you to see that. Because everybody go to New York. Everybody knows it. So my question is this: why did you know they were breaking in New York? Why did you know they were rapping in New York? Because somebody wanted you to know that. You get what I'm saying? Like,
I see what you're saying.
More non-melanated people get assaulted and killed by the police. It's a numbers game. But you won't ever see that. They won't leave. Why won't they tell that story? Like more non-melanated people abuse crack cocaine, but you won't hear that. So if I say crack cocaine, welfare, poverty, police brutality, first thing you associate that with is melanated people. But that's because they've told you that. I just talked to my partner Rodney about it today. I hope he listened. I sent him the link. I don't know if he is or not. I'm like, they control our thoughts and our mind on what they want you to see every day. I mean, that's true. It's 10 to 15% of us committing these all kind of crazy crime. But it's 85% of black folks doing well. They're not showing that on the media.
I think y'all using the wrong words. I'm gonna say that. I think y'all using the wrong words because they controlling your mind that's only your choice to allow them to control your
Can I
mind.
give y'all a different viewpoint or
Give me one.
different perspective?
All right.
Now, before you ask the question, well, you made the statement about the leaders, the entertainers being our leaders. But the thing is, we as black people teach them how to control us
Right.
because we start getting into entertainment news. Back in the 60s and 70s, you didn't see no entertainment news leading out on the news channels.
Mhm.
You heard
Right.
world news first, then you got local news. Walter Cronkite and all those dudes, that's all they ever talked about. They talked about the war in Vietnam. After a while, they got to the point, okay, the black people, they're following these entertainers. Okay, well, let's give them more of the entertainers. Now they're telling you what this person is doing, and while you all excited about what Kanye or Kim or all these others are doing, they running the rope a dope on you over here because you're
Yeah.
interested in what they're saying here while they're doing things, they're making laws, passing bills over here that affect you that you don't even know about until after it's already done. So we taught them, okay, we
Mhm.
want to see entertainment news. They give us entertainment news. They putting these people in front of you. What do you think about this thing? What do you think about what so and so said? Nobody really cares. But who are you
Mhm.
listening to when you look at the news? That entertainer that really don't know nothing about nothing, but he's telling you his opinion. And you looking at him like, what the hell going on? See, people who think for themselves. That's a part of integrity. You got a lot of people out
Right.
here that just following the news. They listening. They're
Right.
being programmed by everything they see. They're sitting in front of
Yeah.
their phones all day long, watching, being programmed. But then you got others that are reading, that are getting in the book. They're having sensible conversations. See,
Mhm.
You know,
we
but that
taught them
that's
how to
that
treat us.
that's a small percentage. I just said the other day, I said, boy, the more I read, the more I realize ain't too many people I can talk to. Because
Yeah.
No.
the masses are not, they're going with what's being fed to them all day and every day.
Right.
They're not,
Right.
let me change my thought process. Let me,
Mm-mm.
they don't even want to most people don't even want to, it's like stressful for them to learn, to even want to get
Right.
any new
Right.
information in. It's like, I ain't man,
Mhm.
don't bring me that bull. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to
Yeah.
hear
Hmm.
about,
Right.
I don't want to hear about all that mess,
Exactly.
you know. And it's knowledge that can help change their minds. But if they're conditioned and programmed to think a certain way, bro, and again,
That's all you're gonna get.
that's the ones who controlling that, feeding that to you. Now, what you're saying, Keith, is shut it all off and don't watch TV. That's the truth. But who gonna do that? Especially when they sitting at home need some.
Me?
But you
That's
know
you.
what?
But I'm saying the people sitting at home who need entertainment, they just gotta. They
Yeah.
me too.
Go
But
ahead.
hey,
After two of my time, I got a room. I want to leave y'all with
You-
two thoughts. The first thought
Okay.
is, do y'all remember Wayne Brady? They used to sing
Yeah.
the
Oh yeah.
commercial. Check this out. Remember when Wayne Brady had a daytime talk show?
Yeah.
Okay, go back and check. Wayne Brady's daytime talk show was nominated for a bunch of daytime awards, right? I think it actually won a couple.
You
I don't
did.
think the show lasted 2 seasons and they canceled it. So
Right.
I want you to see how the people that Beyonce won, Kendrick Lamar won all these Grammys. They well, Jay-Z won this Grammy. That's control marketing.
Right.
That does not always and usually does not represent the voice of the people, right? So I just want
Mhm.
you to think about that. I'm talking about. Now, I don't want to control your show, but I would love to come back if I'm invited
Yeah.
and have a conversation
Definitely.
around this. I'm gonna throw this in the chat for y'all. And I want to tell y'all about this. Look this up.
Okay.
I want you to look at the origin of it, the years, and then I want you to look at what happened in the 70s and the 80s and 90s in melanated communities. It's a
Okay.
dude named Calhoun. He did a project called Universe 25, the number 25, Universe 25. You familiar with it?
I'm not.
Mm-mm.
Universe, do some research on it. And I would love to come back and have a discussion about that. And that's what I'm getting to, is that these things are orchestrated. So we let's talk about business. I can't have a
Okay.
consistent model without a system. I have to have a blueprint. I have to have a business plan. I have to have a blueprint for the system. That's the reason why if you go to Oakland, Baltimore, Cleveland, Atlanta, all the hoods are the same. Just like you go to McDonald's and Burger King, they all look the same, they smell the same, they got the same colors, the same logos, the same mannerisms and cultures. You can't get that type of consistent product without it being on purpose. That don't just happen. There's no big bang to that. It is very calculated. Check out Universe 25. I want you to note the years he did this study, and then think about and look at the communities of melanated people in the 70s, 80s, and 90s and what we got now.
Well, let me ask you this before you go. That's the point I'm making. So, but you know, it'll be somebody like Keith or somebody like my partner Rodney who just say, well, just stop doing it. Right. I'm like, yeah, that's kind of sounds good. That's what we all should do. But it's got to be a system behind this bad boy that's making people not stop doing it. And that's the point thing. I'm like, yeah, I stopped doing it. Yeah, you stopped doing it, Keith. Yeah, you stopped. But it's got to be something. And maybe this Universe 25 will explain it to me. You know, if it's like redlining or something that is keeping people from just saying, I ain't gonna do that.
Check it out, because so during World War II to after World War, from World War II and then to the Civil Rights Movement of the 60s, and then when we got desegregation after the 70s, there was a heavy focus on studies about behavior, environment. What would happen if we do this? What happens if somebody only get 2 hours of sunlight? How would they behave? What happens to their biology? What happens to their brain? What happens to their ability to think? So this is one of those things that came out of that, the whole thought era, like Harvard. Harvard is built off of poking and prodding. Like that's what Harvard is there for. That's what they go and they do the greatest studies on. What happens if we do? What happens if we close all the streets and make all the streets dead end? Okay, what would happen? What would be the results? They ain't guessing. That's all I want to know. I got to run. Okay. Check out Universe 25. This is not a guess. Okay. They ain't guessing.
Appreciate
it. They ain't guessing. That's all I want to say. This is not ain't nobody guessing.
Well, not at this day and age. No, they not.
They ain't been guessing for a long time. check out the history of Manifest Destiny. The whole ideology of Manifest Destiny and where that came from a dude that coined that term, and it was an ideology that's already in America. And that's what we are. We're Manifest Destiny. I don't think it's negative or it's positive. It just is what it is. It'll help us understand a lot of things. I'll let it come back and have a discussion about some of that stuff and see what y'all think about it.
Yeah, we're gonna do that.
Right, peace, we got
appreciate
y'all. Thank you. It's been a joy.
Appreciate you.
All right.
Peace, bro. Thanks for being here.
Yes, sir. Man, yeah, that's something we're gonna have to come back and talk about.
Look at that. He said Universe 25.
Yeah.
Universe 25, Calhoun. 25.
Put that in the chat, man, if somebody's looking, because I only thing I see is YouTube. I don't know about the people on Facebook. Is anybody out there?
They out there. I'll text it once we get off of here, but we about to wrap it up anyway. Okay. Just to let you know, because it was just a great. Sometimes we don't have long enough.
Yeah,
is it true?
We get to rolling.
You get to rolling at the end of the show. But man, it was another great episode of the Elite Mancast. So y'all come in next week, man. We're gonna do it again next week. We're gonna have this gentleman back on because we gotta find out what's happening with Universe 25.
I know that's right.
But man, we appreciate you, Tony, man.
All right.
Mr. Michael.
Yes.
We're gonna do it again, brother. All right, y'all. Have a good evening.
Hey, y'all stay
black.
Have
a great one, y'all. Peace.
Stay black.
You too.
Stay black.
You too.